recent example, I showed you how to go through a for loop of approximately 40 people and then randomly decide and mark one is staying and one is going. In this example, we've been counting up over time, but we don't have to always start at a low number and then work towards a high number. We could reverse this. So for example, I could say, let's start at the number 40, and every single time we go through the loop, let's count down from 40, and as soon as this number gets greater than, well, let's keep on doing this while this is greater than 0. So as long as this number is greater than 0, we'll keep on knocking something off. And in fact, yeah, that's good. All right, so we do it like that, and let's see what happens. Okay, so it looks similar to before, but reverse order. We started at 40, and then we counted down to 1. Or we could make it some other range that we wanted, maybe 30, and hit save. And then it would start off at 30 and go down to 1. So for loops can work in increasing order, or they can work in decreasing order. Just make sure that whatever condition you do evaluates the way you want it to, so that at some point it's actually going to break out of that for loop. Okay, so that's enough about this particular example. There are some ways that you can use to break out of loops, whether it's a while loop or a for loop. Sometimes you want to stop for various reasons. Let's take the example of dating, and I'm going to go ahead and just wipe out everything that's right here. So finding the right person to marry can be thought of like finding a needle in a haystack, perhaps. And so if you happen to find that needle, you shouldn't keep on searching in the haystack. Am I right? At least not unless you want to get in big trouble. So let's pretend like you have made a commitment to yourself that you're going to try 100 dates. And so we'll call this the stack size equals 1,000. And we're going to use this in a for loop in a second. And let's say that just randomly, the person that you're looking for is going to be found in position 53. All right. So let's do a little for loop here. For let I count equals 0. I count is less than, so we only want to do this up until the maximum number of people that we're going to pick through, and then we'll say I count plus plus. All right. Now we could say looking with each loop, so let's go ahead and say that. Say console.log, and we'll say looking at and we'll say the individual that we're looking at that particular moment. So if I hit save and I come out here, I go from 1 to 1,000 without any breaks. But what do we want to do if we find this person right here? Great question. We want to stop searching and stop going through this loop. And this is how we could affect that. We could say if I count is exactly equal to I needle. So if we found the thing that we're looking for, we want to do, let's see, I'll add this, take this statement right here and update it a little bit. I'll say console.log found you at, and then just the number that was the right number. And then here's the magic trick. We say break. So this break means that whenever we run into this, we're not going to continue this loop anymore. We're going to just hijack, short circuit this thing, and get right out. So let's watch what happens. So I hit save, and I come over here, and look at that. We went from 1 to 53, and then stop. If we put this at another number, like 102, again, we would keep on looping through things, and then we would stop. So obviously, we don't, in some cases, we don't want to continue going. if we've already found the thing that we were looking for. If I wanted to get a little bit trickier with this, I could make this a random number. I could do something like math dot, now this is going to be a little bit extensive here, but math dot floor, and then math dot random, so some random number between 1 and 1,000, and just the way that this works, we add in one more there because we usually don't hit the top end of that range. And so in this case, we actually don't know ahead of time which number it really is. It's not fixed, just like in real life. So if I come over here, one time it's 488, and it's 63, 189, 250. Okay, so exciting. That's just how things work in real life. Let's do like another example here. What if instead of wanting to stop when we find a certain person, what if we want to skip over a certain person? Let's say, for example, at position number 4 in a list of 10, pretend that we're giving in this loop vaccinations to every person. But if you're pregnant, you're not supposed to get the vaccination, is our made-up rule that we're coming up with right now. Well, what can we do? So for regular people, we're going to say we're going to stick you. So I'll say giving shot to number this. But if you're this person, I'm going to say skipping number whatever. And then I'm going to do this thing that says continue. So it's like break, except instead of stopping the for loop from ever executing again, it just says whatever number we're currently on, go back up to the top. Don't execute the rest of my for loop block. Don't execute anything else, and just count up 1, and then just do it again. All right, so here we go. I'll hit save, and we come out here, and it says we're skipping number 4. So everyone else got that statement, giving shot to, giving shot to, giving shot to. But when we got to 4, it says go back up to the top and don't execute anything else here, thereby avoiding giving them that treatment that we don't want them to have. All right, I hope you enjoyed learning a lot about loops and create great things that pay you lots of money in the near future.